Like I mentioned, instead of getting that pylon first, he got the cybernetics core first. SKT guy dancing around here for the fans. I don't know why. Anyways, to get back to the game, so Best does have an earlier robotics facility out. What is the big deal with signing here? I don't know. I guess he's signing for Best, and he's trying to be secretive. Anyway, so there was an earlier facility for Best. Best's shuttle is already out, so as soon as that robotics support bay goes up, which is right there, he's going to get that Reaver out. Looks like the Reaver's probably going to be being built right now, and he's going to have it out a lot faster than Jaehoon. That's going to be bad news for Jaehoon, especially because they are pretty close. So it's going to be tough, actually, for Jaehoon to come back from that little bit of a deficit, especially against a player like Best. And he might be trying to push in here with his gateway advantage, but I don't think it's going to work because it's pretty much even between Best and Jaehoon. He does have that extra gateway, so he's pumping some more Dragoons. His robotics facility, or his support base, finally up too now. Observatory going up for Best, just so he can start to get a better scout on Jaehoon. But Best is pretty much content to sit back here and wait for his Reaver. His Reaver's going to come out now. It looks like he's going to probably send it out with his main force. And Shuttle is out for Jaehoon, but no Reaver yet, so he's definitely a little behind. Best is going to move out his Dragoons and Zell, and he's going to put up the Nexus at the same time. So this is smart. What you want to do is expand, of course, while you're being aggressive, while you're attacking. Yes, it's hard to do both things at once, but the programmers have that extra APM to be able to handle that. And that's smart because if this attack does work or even kind of even out, he's already got a Nexus being built, and that's going to be popping up. Looks like Best isn't actually being aggressive. He did pull his forces back. I'm not sure why. Maybe he just doesn't feel the timing is right, and he just wants to wait a little bit for that Nexus to get up a little more. But Jaehoon definitely doesn't even have a Nexus up. However, he does have that second additional gateway, so he might have a unit advantage against Best. We'll have to see when these forces actually meet, which it looks like it's going to happen pretty soon. Best does have the second gateway now too, so he's also going to be pumping Dragoons. And he is not attacked at all, so he's actually content to just wait for this Nexus to come up and then get that economic advantage. And Jaehoon is way behind because Jaehoon doesn't have a Nexus going up, and his Reaver was so late. Now his Reaver's coming in. It looks like he's going to try to do a little bit of harass, but Best already has 2 Dragoons there, and now he's got that spotter pylon, so Jaehoon's not going to be able to do anything with that Reaver. It's fended off. His forces are positioned there in the middle. Very heavy Dragoon force, which is pretty typical Protoss versus Protoss. Looks like he has another Reaver back in the base, so he's probably going to pick that up. But again, no player being aggressive, and this just works in Best's favor because Best is a better player. He doesn't need to be aggressive. Jaehoon is the one that needs to be aggressive, and Jaehoon is just now getting his expansion up. Best's expansion is already in full productivity. He already has probes already there, and so Jaehoon, wow, I mean, he's going to have to do something very quick. He's got to do something now because as soon as that economic advantage kicks in for Best, it's going to be over if it's not already. I do think that Jaehoon does have an advantage of Dragoons, but Best does have 2 Reavers as well. So it's going to be two Reavers versus 2 Reavers, and now Best has a 3rd Reaver coming out. So it's just not looking good for Jaehoon. We'll see what happens here, but it's going to come down to micro, and when it comes down to micro, Best is probably going to be a better player. Okay, attack finally going in. 1 Dragoon picked off. Best's Reaver's in good position. That Reaver almost gets picked off, but Best picks it up. Nice timing there. A nice Reaver micro. Looks like a lot of Dragoons going down for Best, but about an even number for Jaehoon, and it's kind of evening out, except that Best still has his 3 full Reavers, and they're just pumping away the Dragoons. Wow! Looks like 2 Reavers go down, if I saw correctly. 2 Reavers. Oh my gosh, the 3rd Reaver goes down. Wow, Best is in huge trouble here. Jaehoon does have that 1 Reaver left. It's critically low on health, but it's already done a ton of damage, and it looks like that Reaver does go down, but now neither player has any Reavers, and they're pretty much just down to square one because there's Dragoons versus Dragoons, and only a few of them. And wow, this is going to be really interesting. I do think that even though Best, I think, had a little bit of missed micro and lost that decisive battle, the fact that Best does have his expansion up, has had it up for a long time, is going to make a difference eventually in this match. And Jaehoon, as you can see now, just barely gaining his probes to his expansion. So Best has already been working on 2 bases for a while. Jaehoon just now gaining that expansion, and we'll see how the unit how that difference adds up. It looks like they both have the exact same number of Dragoons. Best smartly picking off a Dragoon there, maybe the one that was wounded, because it did go down pretty fast. 5 Dragoons versus 5 Dragoons. It'll also matter to see what their upgrades are at. Best smartly picking off an observer there. I don't think that either player has upgraded. I actually haven't even seen a forward yet, so their upgrades are going to just stay 0-0 for a while. So that's not going to be a factor. But the economic advantage for Best is going to be a factor. That I can guarantee. And the longer that this plays out, the more of advantage it's going to be for Best. Best now looks like moving out with his shuttle and his Reaver. He's probably going to try to just press this attack. Maybe a little frustrated that the last battle didn't go as much in his favor as it should have. Jaehoon, in the meanwhile, does have a good spread of his Dragoons, so he's going to have a really good arc against that Reaver that's only going to get shot off on one Dragoon at a time. Okay, gets shot off on 2 Dragoons there. He's not targeting the Dragoon. Jaehoon's not targeting the Reavers with his own Reavers or his Dragoon. And wow, Best, great micro there. Takes out that Reaver, and that's going to be GG right there. Significant Dragoon advantage for Best, and Best doing a really good job microing his Reaver there. Jaehoon tried to spread out his Dragoons, but it just wasn't enough, and Best, just with a superior micro, wins the match there. So it's now going to even up. SKT 1 game and MBC Hero 1 game. We'll see who MBC puts up, but great match. I gotta say, Jaehoon did a really good job considering the disadvantage he was at early on. He did a good job with the forces he had, taking out a lot of Best Reavers, but in the end, it wasn't enough. Best smartly put down that Nexus, and he knew he didn't have to be aggressive, and Jaehoon did have to be aggressive, and Jaehoon wasn't aggressive. And I think in the end, that's what lost him the match. So good attempt by Jaehoon, but Best, of course, is an extremely good player, and that's just what happens unless you pull off something really special. So good win for Best. Let's go on to the next game.